Yeah, Madam Speaker, under the Pallister government, there has been a substantial increase in crime, as this material I table shows. The rise in property crimes for the city of Winnipeg is from less than 29,000 in 2015, before the government was elected, to more than 44,000 in the most recent year. This is a 53% increase. The Pallister government has failed in one of the most basic aspects of government, that of keeping our streets and our homes safe. Why has the Pallister government failed to prevent this substantial increase in property crime in Winnipeg?
Good question.
The Honourable Minister of Education and Training.
Madam Speaker, it's always nice to get a question on crime from a Liberal member, Madam Speaker. I know that the member opposite is having a forum tonight. He mentioned it earlier. I'd be happy to provide him news releases from an announcement that was made by the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General today, investing more than $2.7 million into a policing and public safety strategy, Madam Speaker. That strategy will include better intelligence for police officers so they can work and go after those who are committing crimes within the community, as well as community mobilization. I'll provide him with those news releases. I'm sure he'll want to distribute to those who come to his community forum this evening, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Member for River Heights on a supplementary question.
Yeah, Madam Speaker, we know the press release this morning was just an election gambit to cover up 3 years of inaction.
Right.
In River Heights alone, there were 3,020 property crimes in 2015, the year before the Pallister government was elected. In the latest year, as the information that I tabled shows, there were 4,811 property crimes in River Heights. This is a 59% increase from 2015. The timing of the increase is such that it's likely that much of the increase is related to the increased use of methamphetamine in Winnipeg. Why has the Premier and his government failed to act to prevent the increased methamphetamine use and the accompanying increased crime in Winnipeg?
Right. Good question.
The Honourable Minister of Education and Training.
Well, it's an interesting question coming from a Liberal, Madam Speaker, a party who has talked about making all drugs legal, Madam Speaker, regardless of what those drugs are in Canada. However, it's important that he be reminded that this is a government and our Attorney General who has invested $2.3 million more in policing in the last budget. And when the member opposite, the member for River Heights, had the opportunity to support that increased investment in police officers, he decided to vote against it. I hope he tells his community this evening, to those who come to his forum, how he voted against more resources for police officers, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Member for River Heights on a final supplementary.
Yeah, we're wondering on this side why the increased property crime wasn't specifically mentioned in the government press release this morning. This evening, there will be a forum in River Heights at the Crescentwood site of the Corridon Community Centre.
Order.
It's being hosted by Councillor John Orlico and the Winnipeg Police Service. It will include a discussion of measures which property owners can take to reduce property crimes. I asked the Premier why he has cut programs like Safety Aid, Restorative Resolutions, Neighbourhoods Alive, and Block to Block, cuts which have contributed to the increased crime in Winnipeg.
The Honourable Minister of Education and Training.
Madam Speaker, in fact, community mobilization was mentioned in the press release this morning. I suppose the member didn't have the opportunity to read it, Madam Speaker, and that certainly would have an impact on property crime. What would also have an impact on property crime is the $2.7 million that the Minister of Justice announced today when he was releasing his policing strategy and public safety strategy, Madam Speaker. Of course, also $2.3 million more in policing, which was announced by the Attorney General in the budget, Madam Speaker. All those initiatives are initiatives that the member for River Heights has voted against. He needs to go to his community forum tonight, apologize to his residents for voting against those important initiatives, Madam Speaker.